Hi folks, I'm Stephen Crone, thanks for joining me again. And now today, I took this photograph last weekend, Barr Beacon, and I've just tried to create a nice simple watercolour from it. So let me show you the photograph closer up. I'll post this on my Patreon page so you can see it properly, but simple little scene, got our little path here, sort of snaking its way into the woods there, and then a few little shadows to work with. The colours I've used: ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. Larger on Ranson Hake, and then a couple of riggers, a 0 and a number 3, and then a small sword liner brush. Quickly show you my latest book on Amazon, Paint Loose Landscapes in Watercolour by myself. And we've got a whole load of step-by-step tutorials in there for you to have a go at. Try to keep it as simple as I possibly could. So that's on Amazon. That's right. I'm going to kick it off with a bit of everything. Off the palette. Raw sienna, alizarin crimson, bit of yellow. Just whack it all on. Don't worry about it. Just loosen up. Just blue down there. A bit more water. A bit more yellow. Bit of crimson. Bit of blue, more raw sienna, just whack it all on. Just looking for a bit of background colour at this stage, that's all it is. Right, then, I'm going to clean the brush. Now let's put that blue of the sky in for what it's worth. See a bit of blue there. That's coming down, something like that. Bit, and then a little bit of cloud and things, a bit of texture. Right then, now I'm going to start putting the background trees in en masse. So I'm just looking for the basic shapes. So I know there's a few there. There's a few over here, and they're coming down somewhere like that. And I sort of go up there, there's a few up there, there's a few up there. Bit of blue, make it a bit more greeny. Just make that a little bit lighter, so I'm just taking some of that paint off with a dry brush. Right, now I'm going using a sword liner. This is a small from Pro Art 9A, this one is. I'm just going bit of red, bit of blue, bit of brown. And I'm going to start on these distant trunks, just whacking them in en masse, loads of them. A bit more brown, just want it a little bit darker so it shows up a little bit better. And I'm just going to just keep flicking it. And the beauty of this, advantage of this brush over the rigger, you don't run out of paint so quick. So I'm coming down there, and then I start popping a few sort of horizontal branches and things going on. At this point, see how you get like a nice fine edge at the end. So just a light touch and you get these nice fine little strokes. Imagine like these are little twigs and branches and things. I put the bigger, the closer and more distinctive stuff will go on in a minute when the paper's starting to dry. But for now, popping these in like Right, let's get back. Back to the height brush now. I'm going to give it a quick clean. To a bit of raw cyan, a bit of yellow. Just pop some of that in. I'm going to start to think about where this path is now. The paper stretched a little bit, so I'm just going to pull that tight against the board. And then once I've got the path in, I can start to work around it then, start working the land. So, it's stopping, it's coming down something like that. That goes across there like that. And that's... Let's pop this in. So I'm just going to use a bit of red and a bit of blue. And sort of start it there. Shows, yeah. Right, so there's the path. And the grass. Just pushing the grass up to the path. I've given the path just a bit more of a kink in it, just to use a little bit of artistic license, just to make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Let's just push that up there like that. Right then. Back to the sword liner. Bit of brown, bit of red, bit of blue. I'm putting some thicker trunks now. These trees are slightly closer to us. So, we'll sort of start off something like that. And there's a load of them on this right hand side. More water. I'm just looking for the basic areas where the trees are. I'm not putting the trees in exactly the same place. There is a big one here. Something like that. Comes out here as well, smoke going off up there. Well, I'll come back to that in a minute. For now, I'm going back to the green. I'm just going to pop a bit of green on this. Take a bit of that blue as well, just to darken sections of it. And a bit of Payne's grey in there as well. And darker. greens, some darker greens up here as well. And then what we have also got is a few, a bit of red down here, I think. Clean the brush back to a lighter colour. Thinking about shadows now. Or do I need some stronger tree trunks? I'll have a look in a sec. First, let's just make sure this is flat first. Go on now, a little bit darker, so it stands out a little bit better. A bit more distinctive over there. See what I might do, just put a bit of neat yellow on there. And dry brush some fresh paint on. So I've just cleaned the brush and I'm just scuffing it up a bit like that. So just so it's dry and the hair's all over the place. And I'm thinking just take a little bit on the corner like that. Just pop a little bit up there. Stuff going on down there. Right, now I'm thinking about some foreground shadows now. So before I do that, I need to make sure it's dry. So I'm going to mix a bit of brown, a bit of red, and a bit of blue together. Make a sort of grey bluey colour. Something like that. Enough water in the mix so you can see the paint underneath. I'm just looking at the shadows. I want some right across the foreground. There's a few shadows in there. And we've got shadows coming from this tree. It's very windy outside. I hope you can hear me above all the wind. Shadows amongst all this. Let it quick dry. I want that trunk darker again, so back to the sword liner brush. Bit of brown, bit of blue, bit of red in there as well. And again, let's make that darker still. This one a bit darker as well. So just darken some of these ones up here. So right now what we have got, I don't know why I cleaned up, I forgot to, I didn't need to clean the brush then. On this left hand side we've got a few, there's a big tree in the foreground, you can just see the branches, so I'm just going to pop this in really. This is just something on the left. It's peeking its head around. Just to fill this space here on the left, so it's looking a little bit empty. This is coming straight across there like that. Thicker branch there. Right down there. What I do want is a little man in the woods. I'm going to stick him somewhere about there, I think. Next to him there's a little dog. Make him a bit darker. Little things up there. Back to the out brush. A few little darks and things scattered about. I think I'm going to leave it about there, I think, so I'm just going to stick my name in the corner. Let's see how that looks with the mount on compared to the reference photograph. So as I finish painting, all mounted up. Looking again at the reference photograph, so I've kept the main gist of it very similar, just kept the same sort of feel and atmosphere. Added this big foreground shadow that's not actually in there. The shadows were confined to just this section here, but I wanted another one here just to sort, because I don't think it would have been distinctive enough just there. And if you see the way the path leads off into the sort of in the woods and the shadows, I've just opened it up a little bit. So our path just takes us just to like an open area, like a sort of fresh and a sort of pinky, crimsony over yonder. You can see all these massive trees and foliage and whatnot. So I didn't complicate things, just popped in loads of trunks and whatnot with the sword liner brush. You can use a rigger brush if you want. I just use it so I don't have to keep reloading the brush so often. Get a lot more paint on it. Dry brushed a little bit of colour, used a bit of neat yellow straight out of the tube. Dotted about the place. A little bit more there amongst all the undergrowth and the shadows. And then just sort, I could have left this out, but this sort of foreground, immediate foreground over on the left hand side, just to fill in that little bit. I mean the sky itself, you can just see I put the blue in and then just took a bit of colour out with a dry brush to give a hint of a bit of cloud up in the sky. So yeah, viewing like that little impression there of Barr Beacon. Thanks as always for watching. Do join me over on Patreon, patreon.com/StephenCrone if you get the chance. Got all the books, new books on Amazon. You'll see all the links in the description. So until next time, thanks for watching. Keep practicing. If you've got any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.